Hello everyone. For my service learning experience, I had the opportunity to assist with the Holistic Health and Fitness Program for the National Guard, also known as H2F. H2F focuses on supporting the overall health, performance, and readiness of soldiers. During my 8 hours of service, I worked alongside the H2F team and military personnel to support health promotion and fitness activities. I helped organize health education materials, prepare resources for soldiers, and assist with a group fitness and health promotion activity. For this presentation, I'll answer the question, what makes a good collaborative service team for public health? Based on my experience, I believe a good collaboration service team brings together people with different backgrounds, communicates effectively, respects the roles and knowledge of each team member, and keeps the needs of the population being served at the center of the project. One of the biggest things I learned during this experience was the value of having different professional perspectives on a team. I approached the project from a public health perspective. Because of my public health education, I naturally thought about health promotion, prevention, education, and how health information could influence behaviors. However, the military and the H2F personnel brought a different perspective. They had firsthand knowledge of the Army environment, training requirements, soldier needs, and some of the challenges that can make it difficult for a soldier to prioritize their health. This connected directly to the public health competency of interprofessional collaboration. Working with people from different backgrounds showed me that one profession does not always have the information needed to solve a problem. For example, a public health perspective, we may identify as a public health perspective, we may identify a health recommendation that is supported by evidence and beneficial for the population. However, the military personnel may be able to point out that the recommendation is difficult to apply because of a soldier's training schedules, job responsibilities, or other military requirements. Neither perspective is wrong. Instead, bringing these perspectives together can lead to a solution that is both beneficial from a health standpoint and realistic for the population. Another important part of a good collaborative team is communication. During my service experience, I had to recognize that I was there to support an existing program. The program supervisor and coordinator already had established responsibilities, and my role was to listen, understand where assistance was needed, and then contribute my public health knowledge where it could be useful. I think it is also important. I think it is also an important part of ethical leadership. Leadership does not always mean being the person in charge. Sometimes good leadership means understanding your role, communicating clearly, following through on your responsibilities, and respecting the expertise of other people on your team. That was very important during this experience because everyone was contributing something different. Effective collaboration requires us to listen to each other rather than assuming that one person's professional background was more important. A third thing I learned is that a strong collaborative public health team has to keep the population being served at the center of it. One public health competency I was able to apply during this experience was communicating audience appropriate public health content. When helping with the H2F resources, I had to think about more than whether the health information was accurate. I also had to consider whether soldiers could understand the information realistically and use it. I think that is a very important difference. We can provide people with completely accurate information, but if the information is too complicated, doesn't relate to their needs, or cannot realistically be applied to their lives, it may not have the impact we intend. Working with military and H2F personnel helped me better understand the audience we were trying to reach. They understood the soldiers' environment in ways that someone looking at the situation only through a public health lens might not. The experience reinforced for me that contributing public health knowledge does not mean entering a community believing that you already have all the answers. It also requires listening to the people who understand that community, learning from their experiences, and then using your professional knowledge to help develop an approach that makes sense for the population. Overall, my service learning experience showed me that a good collaborative service team for public health is more than a group of people working on the same project. A good team brings together people with different knowledge and experiences. Team members communicate openly, respect each other's roles, remain accountable for their responsibilities, and stay focused on the needs of the people they are serving. My H2F experience helped me see how public health competencies such as interprofessional collaboration and audience appropriate communication can be applied in real world settings. I was able to contribute what I have learned through public health while also learning from professionals who understood the military environment and soldiers' readiness from a different perspective. Ultimately, I think that is what that's what makes collaboration valuable in public health. We do not have to have the same background or approach. Instead, we need to be willing to bring our different perspectives together and use them to serve the health needs of the community. Thank you for